Diamonds are not rare. They never were. The belief that they are, the reason you're expected to spend 2 months' salary on one, the reason your grandmother still has hers in a box, was manufactured by a single company starting in 1938. This is the story of how De Beers invented a tradition the world believes is ancient. In 1888, Cecil Rhodes consolidated the diamond mines of Kimberley, South Africa, into a single company, De Beers Consolidated Mines. His logic was simple. A diamond's value is entirely psychological. The moment supply exceeds demand, the price collapses. By the early 20th century, De Beers had built a cartel so dominant that at its peak, it controlled somewhere between 80 and 90% of the world's rough diamond supply. Not production, supply. Every diamond that entered the market did so because De Beers allowed it. In the 1930s, the Great Depression collapsed diamond sales. People were not buying luxury goods. De Beers had warehouses full of inventory and almost no buyers. Then, in the 1950s, a second threat arrived. Soviet geologists discovered enormous diamond deposits beneath the Siberian permafrost. Russia's mines were producing at scale, millions of carats that had nothing to do with De Beers. If that inventory reached the open market, the price would fall, and the illusion of scarcity would be exposed. De Beers responded by striking a deal to sell Soviet diamonds through its own distribution system. Every Russian diamond that reached the global market went through De Beers first. The supply was absorbed. The price held. But supply control alone was not enough. In 1938, De Beers hired the Philadelphia advertising firm N.W. Ayer and Son. Their mandate was not to sell diamonds. It was to change what people believed about them. Their research revealed something useful. There was no tradition of diamond engagement rings in the United States. Most Americans who got engaged bought sapphires, rubies, or nothing at all. This was not a problem. It was an opportunity. Over the next decade, N.W. Ayer planted stories in newspapers, coached celebrities to wear diamonds publicly, and made sure they appeared in Hollywood films worn by the most admired women on screen. They did not argue that diamonds were valuable. They showed them being treated as if they were, until audiences concluded it themselves. In 1947, they reduced the entire campaign to 4 words: "A diamond is forever." The slogan did something no one had fully planned for. It did not just encourage people to buy diamonds, it discouraged them from selling. A diamond given in love is not something you sell. If the second-hand market had functioned freely, buyers would have discovered what their rings were actually worth. The illusion would have ended there. By engineering a culture in which diamonds were never resold, De Beers kept prices artificially high and kept buyers from ever learning what they had really paid for. Ad Age named it the best advertising slogan of the 20th century in 1999. In the 1980s, they went further. De Beers ran campaigns in the United States, establishing that the appropriate amount to spend on a diamond engagement ring was 2 months' salary. The figure was invented. There was no tradition behind it. But repetition is persuasive. The rule spread into magazines, jewelry stores, conversations between couples. A marketing guideline became a social expectation. The pattern was not unique to America. When De Beers entered Japan in the late 1960s, diamond engagement rings were virtually unknown there. In 1967, fewer than 5% of Japanese brides received one. By 1981, just 14 years later, more than 60% did. They had not uncovered an ancient tradition. They had built one in 14 years. Here is what De Beers understood that most companies never do. You do not need to control a product. You need to control what people believe about it. Diamonds did not become valuable because they are rare. They became rare in perception because De Beers controlled the supply that reached the market, seeded the culture with images of permanence and love, killed the resale market with a 4-word slogan, and invented a rule about how much you owe the person you love. Every part of what you believe about a diamond was designed. The rarity, the tradition, the 2-month salary. All of it engineered. There is a term for this in economics: manufactured demand. De Beers called it marketing. The distinction, for 100 years, did not matter,